Krishna says, those who remember him during death will return to him. Right? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram. Whatever you remember at the time of death, you will attain without fail. And therefore Krishna says, ma manusmaridyacha, you should always practice remembering Krishna. So those who remember Krishna during death will return to Krishna. However, in your recent lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam, my lecture, you emphasize the significance of attachment to Guru. If one remembers Prabhupada during their death, will they go directly to Krishna, or will they have opportunity to participate in Prabhupada Leela on another planet, given their remembrance of Prabhupada? Okay. So, this question was asked by a devotee to Prabhupada. That Prabhupada, if a disciple, he remembers his spiritual master at the time of death, what will be his destination? So Prabhupada said, remembering spiritual master is the same as remembering Krishna. Why? Because Prabhupada is a representative of Krishna, and he is our Guru, he is our spiritual master, he is our Diksha Guru, he is the one who has initiated us into chanting harekrishna mantra, he is the one who has given us divya jnana, transcendental knowledge, he is the one who is purifying us and taking away all our sinful reactions, and he is the person who is taking us back to Godhead. He is able to perform all these functions. Why? Because he is a representative of Krishna. And Krishna says in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Acharyo mam vijaniyam. Krishna says the disciple should see the Acharya as good as Krishna, non-different from Krishna. Why? Because he is a representative, direct representative of Krishna. That is why every day in the morning also we sing Sakshad Haritvena. Hari is Krishna. Sakshad Haritvena Samasta Shastrair Uktaha. The entire Vedic scriptures, they have declared. What have they declared? They have declared that the pure devotee spiritual master is as good as Krishna. So, if we remember Prabhupada and if we serve Prabhupada, it is as good as remembering and serving Prabhupada. Then, whenever we have to offer bhoga to Krishna, we cannot offer bhoga to Krishna. Why? Because Krishna accepts only pure devotional service, only Ananya Bhakti. Krishna does not accept Mishra Bhakti. Krishna does not accept Sakama Bhakti. Krishna will accept only Ananya Bhakti. That is why Krishna in several places in the Bhagavad-gita, he says, Mamcha yo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Very clearly Krishna has said, one who renders devotional service to me, what kind of devotional service? Avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. That means serving Krishna has to be done on the platform of Avyabhicharini Bhakti Yoga or Ananya Bhakti Yoga. That means only pure, unadulterated devotional service Krishna accepts. But we are all not pure devotees. We are all not Ananya Bhaktas. We have so many material desires. So how will Krishna accept our devotional service? So we are chanting Hare Krishna every day. We come to the temple. We offer our obeisances. We engage in Sankirtan. So is Krishna not receiving all those services that we are offering? Krishna is receiving. How? Whatever we offer it to Prabhupada. Whenever we offer bhoga, we don't offer to Krishna directly, we offer to Prabhupada. Whenever we offer arati, we don't offer directly to Krishna, we offer to Prabhupada. So we offer to our Guru, our initiating spiritual master. Whatever we have to offer to Krishna, we have to offer through our initiating spiritual master. And our initiating spiritual master is a pure devotee, who is a direct representative of Krishna, who has been authorized by his predecessor spiritual master, and who has come down, descended from the spiritual world to the material world for the specific purpose of delivering the fallen conditioned souls. The initiating spiritual master is not somebody like you and me, that they were born into this material world on account of their karma. No. Initiating spiritual master has to be somebody, Diksha Guru has to be somebody who has descended from the spiritual world for the specific purpose of delivering the conditioned souls, which is what Prabhupada is. So, that Prabhupada, that pure devotee, who has come for that specific purpose, whenever we offer anything, we offer to him. And because he is a pure devotee, and he has ordered us to offer it in this particular way, we have to chant Prabhupada's pranam mantra, and we have to chant Namo Mahavadanyaya and Namo Brahmanya. These prayers we chant and we offer the bhoga. This is how Prabhupada has instructed us to offer bhoga to Krishna. So we offer the plate of bhoga to Prabhupada and we chant these mantras following Prabhupada's instructions. So what happens? We are offering to Prabhupada. And what does Prabhupada do? Prabhupada will offer to his spiritual master, which is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And what will Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur do? He will offer to his spiritual master. Like this, it will go upward, upward, upward. Finally, it will go to Krishna. So this is how Krishna receives our devotional service. Although we are not Ananya Bhaktas, we have so many desires which are still rooted in our heart. But we are attempting to become pure devotees following in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada. So therefore, in our conditioned state, if our approach to Krishna is through the spiritual master, that is why Prabhupada said the spiritual master is the via medium for us to approach Krishna. We cannot approach Krishna directly, we have to approach Krishna through Prabhupada. So, we offer everything to Prabhupada, and our connection to Krishna is through Prabhupada only. There is nobody else who can connect us to Krishna, because only a pure devotee can connect us to Krishna. So therefore, Krishna says, Acharyo Mam Vijaniyam. Because the spiritual master, the pure devotee, as a Diksha Guru, is connecting us directly to Krishna. Therefore, he is as good as Krishna. Whatever we offer to Prabhupada, Prabhupada does not take it for himself. He offers it to his spiritual master, who in turn offers to his spiritual master. Like this, in the Guru Shishya Parampara, it goes back directly to Krishna. So, even if a disciple remembers Prabhupada at his last moment and is not able to remember Krishna, it makes no difference. Krishna will see, oh, this devotee has remembered my devotee. Krishna will give more importance to that devotee than a person who directly remembers him. Why? Because, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Dasa Dasanu Dasaha. A person who is a devotee of a devotee of a devotee is a real devotee, because Krishna himself said that. Yo mad bhaktaha name bhaktaha. Krishna said, one who considered himself my devotee, he is not really my devotee. Mad bhaktanam yo bhaktaha. One who is a devotee of my devotee, I consider him to be a real devotee. So, if we become attached to Srila Prabhupada because he is our Diksha Guru, then that means we are directly getting connected to Krishna. That becomes more pleasing to Krishna than our directly approaching Krishna and taking shelter of him. That is why in the beginning of the 7th chapter also of the Bhagavad-gita, Krishna says, Mad Ashrayaha. One who takes shelter of one who is a devotee of me, to him all the secrets are revealed. The topmost secret of the position of Krishna gets revealed. Krishna did not reveal his position to us directly, isn't it? See, the Bhagavad-gita, 700 verses, Krishna has spoken all about himself, right? Krishna has spoken about how he is the Supreme Lord, he is the proprietor of all the planets, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is the source of everything. Everything Krishna has explained. And if any of us, or most of us, if we have read any Bhagavad-gita before reading Prabhupada's Gita, would we ever understand Krishna's position? Never, impossible. Only after reading Prabhupada's Bhagavad-gita, we understood the real position of Krishna. You see, unless we come and take shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, we cannot understand Krishna even if we hear directly from Krishna. So this is not a defect on the part of Krishna, it is a defect on our part. We are not qualified to understand Krishna. We are not qualified to serve Krishna. So our service, if we render to Krishna, or if I remember Krishna, or if I chant Krishna's name without accepting Prabhupada as my Diksha Guru, that kind of service will not reach Krishna. I can claim to be a devotee of Krishna only on the strength of being a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So therefore, if a disciple remembers his spiritual master, if you and I, if we remember Prabhupada at the time of passing away, then it is as good as remembering Krishna. In fact, it is better than remembering Krishna. Why? Because Krishna may sometimes refuse. He may refuse to give us his shelter. Sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also won't accept. So therefore, it is safer to take the shelter of our Diksha Guru, Srila Prabhupada, because Prabhupada will never reject us. Now you contrast this with another pastime from Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, when he went to the West in 1965, he was already 69 years old and he had got 2 heart attacks on that ship, on the cargo ship. So Prabhupada's health was always delicate. And Prabhupada's age was also growing, so naturally his body was also growing more frail with time. 1968, Prabhupada got one more stroke, and practically one half of Prabhupada's body became paralyzed for some time. And the United States is such a place where most of the time it is very cold. It's all through the year it's very cold. Like I went to last year in May, I went to Boston. You can imagine May, how it is, right? It will be blistering hot here in India, right? Temperatures will be soaring. If in Chennai and all, it will be 39, 40 degrees centigrade. You go to Delhi, it will be 42, 43, 44. You go to Vrindavan, 48 degrees centigrade. You know, if you go out, you will get cooked. It's like that. And I am landing in Boston, it is snowing there. So you can, in the middle of May, it is snowing there. Can you imagine that? So United States is a country like that. It's very cold. Of course, some places are there which are quite warm, but many places it's very cold all through the year. So Prabhupada, because he was already suffering from that stroke, and in that cold weather, it was not helping Prabhupada. And Prabhupada decided to come back to India to recuperate his health. If he would come back to India, the heat here, the warmth here, it will help for his heart also to rejuvenate and for him to recuperate his health. So Prabhupada decided to come back to India. And Prabhupada brought with him Kirtanananda, who was one of the first disciples of Prabhupada. He was a brahmachari at that time. Prabhupada brought him along with him as his assistant. And Prabhupada came to Vrindavan. And Prabhupada took a place in Vrindavan and Prabhupada was staying. Kirtanananda was serving Prabhupada, taking care of his, cooking his prasadam, taking care of all his physical needs and all those kind of things. And then Kirtanananda, what he did, first time he was coming to India and he has come to Vrindavan. So he was going around every day, going to different temples, seeing all kinds of sadhus, sannyasis. You know how Vrindavan is. He became enamored by all this. And he went to Prabhupada and told him, I want sannyas, can you give me sannyas? Prabhupada refused, because Prabhupada knew he is not qualified to become a sannyasi. But he was going on pestering Prabhupada. And Prabhupada, unwillingly, Prabhupada gave him sannyas. The moment Prabhupada gave him sannyas, Kirtanananda said, I want to go back to USA. Prabhupada said, don't go to USA, you go to London. And you open a center there and you preach there. And Prabhupada gave him some amount, some $6,000 or $3,000 or something, and told him to go to London. And Kirtanananda agreed. And after agreeing to Prabhupada to go to London, he said, I bought my ticket, I'm going to London. And he bought a ticket to New York and went back to USA. So he actually misled Prabhupada and he went to USA. And he landed up in New York, and then he did not go to the ISKCON temple there. Already there was one temple, I think it was Brahmananda, I'm not sure whether it was Brahmananda or Gargamani. One of them, I think it was Brahmananda, he was the temple president there. And there were a few devotees in the temple there. Kirtanananda did not go there. He went somewhere else and he was staying. One day it so happened that one of the devotees in the temple happened to see Kirtanananda. In the street somewhere he met him. And he saw his dress has changed. He's wearing different kinds of robes and all. He said, "Hey Kirtananda, how are you?" And all this, he started speaking to him. Kirtananda told him that Prabhupada has given me sannyas. So he was, oh, Prabhupada has given him sannyas. Kirtananda has become a sannyasi. So he told him, "You should come to the temple." No, Kirtananda said, "Okay, I'll come." He said, and he went. So this devotee came back to the temple and told, I met Kirtananda today and he has become a sannyasi. Prabhupada has given him sannyas. And everybody was surprised. Because those days there was no mobile phone, there was no internet, there was no email, there was no WhatsApp, there was no social media. Today means you become a sannyasi, you take a photo, put it on Facebook, million followers, everybody will come to know. Those days all these things were not there. In fact, if you had to communicate with somebody, you have to put a letter, and a letter will take 2 weeks, 3 weeks to go from India to USA. It was like that. Fastest way of communication was to send a telegram. And telegram is very expensive. So 3 lines you have to put, and you have to send the telegram. It's all like that. Those days, the communication was like that. So nobody knew what had gone on in India. And so then next day, Kirtananda came to the temple. So everybody was very respectful. Oh, he has become sannyasi now. And Prabhupada has given him sannyas. Then they told him to give class. He gave class and all that. And for a few days, this was going on like this. Then devotees started observing, something is not okay. Kirtanananda is giving class, but from his mouth, Krishna word is not coming out. Only Brahman, Brahman, Brahman is coming out. So they thought something is not okay. So some devotees, they all started feeling that, okay, something is not okay, Kirtanananda is not okay. Whereas another set of devotees in the temple, they were saying, no, Kirtanananda has been given sannyas by Prabhupada. How can you doubt him? He is speaking from a totally transcendental spiritual platform and all those kind of things. So the whole temple became divided into 2 groups. Brahmananda is now the president. He has to do something. He wrote a letter to Prabhupada. Like this, it has happened. And Kirtanananda is talking about Brahman and all these things. I personally feel this is not okay. But there are other devotees who are saying, no, he is a sannyasi and all those kind of things. So I want your instruction on what is the right thing. He as a nice devotee, he did not want to take it on his head, because we have to understand, 68, hardly 2 years, all devotees were new in Krishna consciousness. They were all not highly elevated in philosophy and all that. They were just starting in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada got this letter from Vrindavan. Immediately Prabhupada wrote a letter back to Brahmananda saying that Kirtanananda has become Mayavadi. He has offended his guru. He was thinking that I am dependent on him and that he is taking care of me. He did not understand that I was giving him an opportunity for service. Very heavy words from Prabhupada. And then Prabhupada said that because Kirtanananda has become, and Prabhupada writes there, I had given him money to go to England, he disobeyed me and came to New York. So he naturally, because he disobeyed his guru, Srila Prabhupada, Kirtanananda fell down from his understanding of Krishna and became a Mayavadi. This is the reality. Now, then Prabhupada said another interesting thing. Prabhupada said, now Kirtanananda has become Mayavadi, Krishna will not accept his service. Krishna will not accept his service. And then Prabhupada said, but if at all he wants to do service, then he can wash pots in the temple. That means what? Krishna will no more accept his service. But Prabhupada is ready to still engage him in service of Krishna. You see this? He disobeyed Prabhupada, directly disobeyed Prabhupada's instruction to go to London and misled Prabhupada and went to the US, became a Mayavadi, stopped speaking about Krishna. Still Prabhupada is saying, if he wants to come back, I am ready to give him shelter. I am ready to engage him in service of Krishna. Although Krishna is not ready to accept his service. Extremely heavy. So you see, this is the mercy of Prabhupada. If we take shelter of a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada and we accept him as our Diksha Guru, then our path back to Godhead is guaranteed. Because Krishna may refuse to give us shelter. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may reject us. But Prabhupada will always, he will accept us. So this is the glory of taking shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee. That is why Bhagavatam also everywhere keeps repeatedly stressing this point. Mahat sevam dvaramahur vimuktehe. If you want to go back to Godhead, you have to take shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee, not directly Krishna. Bhagavatam does not say Krishna sevam dvaramahur vimuktehe. It could have said no. No, Bhagavatam says Mat sevam dvaramahur vimuktehe. We have to take shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee. Then our path back to Godhead is guaranteed. So therefore, we have to be very, very cautious to accept only a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, bona fide Acharya, as our Diksha Guru, because Diksha Guru is the person who is going to take us back to Godhead. And so therefore, such a Diksha Guru, if you remember at the time of your death, then guaranteed that you will go back to Godhead. Why? Because where is Prabhupada now? Prabhupada is descended from Goloka Vrindavan and he has gone back there. So if you remember him, we'll go to the place where he is, because Krishna says, Yam yam vapis maran bhavam tyajityante kalevaram. Whatever you remember at the time of death, you will attain that without fail. So if you remember Prabhupada, where is Prabhupada? Prabhupada is in Goloka Vrindavan, you will go to Goloka Vrindavan. Simple. So we don't have to worry. So the more we attach ourselves to our Guru, Srila Prabhupada, the more we will develop our attachment to Krishna. It is natural. Actually, it is a mystical thing. We develop more attachment to Prabhupada, automatically our attachment for Mahaprabhu and Krishna will increase. This is the reality. On the other hand, if we try to increase our attachment for Krishna, we may speculate, we may think that we have become attached to Krishna, but in reality, we'll neither become attached to Prabhupada, nor we'll become attached to Mahaprabhu, nor to Krishna. On the other hand, simply if you become attached to Prabhupada, automatically your attachment for Mahaprabhu and Krishna will increase. This is the secret of success in spiritual life. That is why Krishna also says in the Bhagavad-gita, Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So we have to first surrender unto a pure devotee. Tadviddhi pranipatena. First principle in spiritual life is we have to surrender to a pure devotee. What does surrender to a pure devotee mean? Surrender to a pure devotee means we have to take diksha from that pure devotee and we have to accept him as our spiritual master. That yes, now I accept I am your spiritual master and therefore I will carry out all your instructions. This is real surrender. Just like Arjuna also in the Bhagavad-gita, he was speaking to Krishna on the same level as a friend. But then finally he realized that simply discussing like this is only going to result in arguments, is not going to lead to any conclusion. So then he decided to surrender to Krishna. And how did he surrender to Krishna? He surrendered to Krishna by saying that I am your shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. See? Tvam prapannam, I have surrendered to you now. Shishyaste, I am your disciple now. So, surrendering unto a pure devotee means you have to accept him as your Diksha Guru, as your spiritual master. So, therefore, the Shastras are very, very clear. Bhagavad-gita is very clear. Tad viddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. You have to surrender to a pure devotee. This is the instruction of Krishna and this is the practical example given to us by his personal behavior by Arjuna. Arjuna, by his personal behavior also, he did not accept anybody and everybody as his spiritual master and he did not surrender to anybody in the street. He surrendered to Krishna and accepted him as his spiritual master. Similarly, we have to surrender to a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada and accept him as our Diksha Guru. Then we can expect to be delivered from the cycle of birth and death and expect to go back to Godhead. Otherwise, we may acquire a lot of punya, but we will not be able to go back to Godhead. This is the reality. So therefore, if we remember Prabhupada at the time of death, we will surely go back to the spiritual world and we will attain the lotus feet of Krishna.